Hi guys, how has everybody been doing? How has everybody's weekend been? Been going. God, look at me, all tongue tied. Anyways, I know it has been a good minute since I have been on my YouTube channel to do a YouTube video, so here I am, and I am so apologetic. Guys, I'm so tongue tied for such a long delay in doing another video, but I wanted to do one, that I'm very passionate about and very saddened and sickening about at the same time. So, with that being said, tonight we are going to talk on the case of Adrian Jones. This case sickens me to the core, to the point where I literally will be in tears when I tell y'all about this. About this precious little 8-year-old that was, guys, I'm just gonna not jump ahead of myself. Anyways, before we get into this video, remember to hit that thumbs up for me. Subscribe to my channel so you can get the latest every time I drop a video. I am going to at least try to drop one every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. I am going to give that my best, and if not 3 times a week, at least you will get 2 times a week. Yes, but anyways, let's jump right on into this. This is the case of Adrian Jones. He was hold on 1 minute, guys. I am so tongue-tied right now. This case is just so freaking sad. Anyways, I had to get my lighting and stuff right so you can see me. I know I look a mess, guys. Please excuse how I look. Anyways, if you have not heard this sad story of the death of 7-year-old Adrian Jones, disclaimer, guys, if you are, very weak stomach, don't like hearing about child abuse, child neglect, or child murder, I recommend you not, even look at this video. I will forgive you for that. But disclaimer, this does include, child abuse, child neglect, and child murder. Viewer discretion is advised. Anyways, this story is just so sad. Okay, guys. Okay.
Go on, get out of here.
Also, with this case, the child welfare system failed this child again. Do y'all remember the Gabriel Fernandez case? How they failed him also? Why do we continue to allow the DSS, Child Protective Services, to fail our children? Why are they not, they see that these kids are being abused. They see this. They're getting so many reports on this, and they continue to leave that child in that home. Why? But they take somebody else's kids that, get a simple little call. Let's say their mom is doing drugs, but their kid is very well taken care of. They're clothed, they're fed. the child has no fear of them, the child, and they take them kids. But the kids, like Gabriel Fernandez and Adrian Jones, who had that fear of their parents, who had that fear, who had obvious signs of abuse on them, that had so many calls telling them that these kids, these beautiful angels, were being abused. What do? Nothing. They left them in that home to be tortured to death. That's what they did. And I believe that they should also be sent to prison for their part in murdering that child, because basically that's what they did. They were they helped basically murdered these babies. Anyways, let's get to reading this. Okay. Okay, let's see where I'm gonna start at. Adrian Jones' father, Michael Jones, he was sentenced to life in prison for killing Adrian. This happened in Kansas City area. His stepmother, Heather Jones, is also serving a life sentence for her role in his murder. Adrian was abused by his parents and starved to death. Yet it was happened after his death that was equally more horrifying, guys. This story you would expect to see on the dark web. Maybe not even on the dark web. I don't know if the dark web. I mean, God, I don't got words for what I am about to tell y'all. If you're not familiar with the dark web, consider yourself lucky, as there are some truly evil things that happen there. This story might actually be worse than what happened on the dark web, and that is saying a lot. Adrian's home became a prison prior to his death. This 7-year-old was blindfolded, strapped to a table. His face was cracked with broomsticks. Sorry, guys. He was forced to eat out of a magnet-infested bowl outside his home with his hands tied behind his back. He was strapped naked and confined to a shower stall for hours, forced to stand in neck-deep water in a filthy swimming pool overnight, and even trapped to an inversion table with handcuffs. Yet, this isn't even the worst part, guys. This is not the worst part. Pardon me, guys. Pardon me. Thank God. Take my glasses off. After Adrian had died alone in a shower, for which he was left there for 2 weeks after his death. So they left him in this shower stall where he died alone. Nobody there. Nobody heard his screams. Nobody heard his cries. Nobody there to hold his hand. Nobody there to deny his own father, biological father. And this evil ass fucking bitch of a stepmother he had left him alone to die in that shower, where they left him for 2 weeks dead. Dead, guys. Dead in the shower for 2 weeks.
That girl is on the dean's list. She's in the bathroom the fall.
Listen to this part.
It's like a graduating class.
To add insult
Don't worry.
to that, his, I wouldn't even call them his parents. Let's call them these shitty ass fucking people. Went out and purchased pigs.
Down.
Y'all can see where this is going, right, guys? They intentionally did not feed the pigs for a period of time, just to make sure they were extremely hungry. Then, just like a story from the dark web, they threw Adrian's dead body
I'm gonna ask you something, and I want
to these pigs.
Did you do drugs at the prom last night? Did you do drugs?
Sorry, guys. Hold on, guys. I gotta pause for a minute. Okay, guys, I'm back. I had to get my stuff together a little bit to bring, to keep this baby's memory alive. These sadistic, shitty ass people. I'm not even gonna call them his parents because they were not parents. They were not nothing. They were nothing but shit. They ended up feeding him to these pigs. They ended up feeding this beautiful 7-year-old to pigs, guys. What monster does that? What?
Harry?
Who? What?
Of course you did. Oh, I'm so hungry. I just gotta eat something.
Okay, guys.
Something substantial, Suzette.
You may be asking why this happened.
I'm not done.
Why did the child welfare system fail this child so badly? Here are 3 pointed questions that we all have for this welfare system. Prepare to be upset, guys. They knew he was being abused, yet they did nothing. Why was Adrian not removed from this hellhole? In 2012, the Kansas Department for Children and Families removed Adrian from his biological mother, who I believe he should have stayed with. Gave him to his so-called father, Michael Jones. In 2013, a Missouri Children's Division social worker and police officer actually spoke with Adrian. The little boy told them the following, quote, "Daddy kicks me." Adrian stated that his father, quotes, "hits me in the head and punches me in the stomach, and Mom keeps pulling on my ears and it really hurts." He added that his parents locks him in his room. He has to sleep without a pillow or a blanket. The Kansas City Star reported that the Missouri Children's Division found a preposterous of evidence that Adrian had been neglected in July 2013. So why did they not take this baby away from them? Investigators and medical staff actually examined Adrian, yet Missouri's plan was to provide a in-home service to the family. even though the family failed to cooperate with Missouri authorities. At one point, the family even tried to give Adrian to the authorities, yet they would not take him.
Integrity. And I'm broke.
As a former Kansas foster child myself,
No, don't do it.
well, not myself.
Yeah, actually, I do want to
No, this is reading from somebody. I was removed from my home due to neglect. Yet my life was not in danger, and I was easily removed from my home. Why not Adrian? This should have been obvious to all involved. This should have been an easy decision to remove this precious boy from these evil people, especially since they were clearly not was not wanted. They did not want him, and they made that clear. So why did they not help this little boy and take this little boy up under their wing? Why do they not do that? Why? I blame the welfare system just as much as I blame them shitty ass people, not parents, but unhumane people. He lives in Kansas now. So we made them aware. So you allowed abuse to continue because the child moved out of state. Did you forget that Kansas City lies right on the Kansas-Missouri border? So they were trying to say that he lived in Kansas City now, that Missouri had no say-so whatsoever, but they border each other, and he had a case already opened in Missouri, so there was no excuse there, none at all. So they can go on with that bullshit. The family stopped communicating with the Missouri authorities and moved out of the state of Kansas. However, for those of you who lives in Kansas or Missouri, you know that Kansas City lies directly on the border between the two states. They remained in Kansas City area. They just crossed the state line. That was the only difference. I mean, literally, it's like this, guys. It's a line. Here's Missouri, here's Kansas. You just stay 1 foot over and you're in Kansas. 1 foot over and you're in Missouri. No excuse whatsoever.
Could you just let me finish, please? And he aspires to a career in politics.
Like it says, a line in the sand. Imagine you and another adult agree to draw a line in the sand. You both agree that as long as you are on your side, you have to leave the other person alone. The other adult turns out to be an abusive person who beats children. You can clearly see the child being abused, but you agreed not to cross the line. You decided that you have to at least call someone so you can clear your conscience and show that you made someone aware. It doesn't matter that this someone you made aware is just as incompetitive as you are.
What's new with you? New?
According to the Kansas City Star and CBSNews.com, a Missouri caseworker made the following remarks in the report. Quote,
How did you know what real life is?
I made Kansas aware that Adrian had disclosed physical abuse by his stepmother, Heather Jones, and his father, Michael Jones, during an interview held in Missouri. Additionally, the worker whatever. also reported that the children are homeschooled and not seen by any outside members of the family on any regular basis, which heightened our concerns for the safety of the children. So there were more children in this house other than Adrian. And the Kansas City caseworker made it known to the Missouri case DSS, or Child Protective Services, that this was very alarming, that this child was being abused, that that they were taken basically out of the school he was, and he was not seen or nothing. And this was they made this known. And why did this go as far as it did, to the point where this precious angel was murdered by two fucking devils? Oh, they burn in hell. And that's exactly where they're going to burn at. Kansas DCF's Secretary Phyllis Gilmore stated that they last had contact with the family in early 2012. KSHB.com reported that Gilmore said the family's frequently alternating residence between Kansas and Missouri greatly disrupted continuous of services and evaluations, which is bullshit. However, she insisted Kansas child welfare officials often shared information about Adrian when known with the Missouri counterparts, which is bullshit too. Additionally, Gilmore stated that her agency thoroughly investigated each reported incidents of abuse or neglect involving Adrian. Then why the hell is that child not here today? Why is he not here today? If you did your part, Gilmore, why is he not here today? Because you're a bullshitter. You didn't do your part. You're lying. Yet they had contact with the family in early 2012. So which one is it, right? Lies. Straight lies. Kansas DCF refuses to release any information regarding the case, something they are known for. The third question is, what is the purpose of the child welfare system if we fail to protect the welfare of our children? Which I agree completely with whoever wrote this article. What is the need of having a child welfare program? What is the need? Because obviously they don't protect them. They leave them in harm's way. They let them get murdered. They let them get hurt. And yet they are not even held accountable, guys, for their actions, for their neglect on that child's part. They are not held responsible for it. They should do prison time just as much as Michael, Heather, whatever the fuck their names are. They're a piece of shit, that's what they are. Even the welfare people are nothing but piece of shits. For real. What needs to be done, and I don't care if I get demonetized or whatever by YouTube for saying this, but what they need to do is maybe they need to chop them up and feed them to the pigs. Or maybe worse. That's what they need to do.
Stay in your lane.
Have you ever noticed how people will see something horrible, yet they turn their head and pretend not to notice? Well, that's exactly what happened here. Exactly what happened in this case. Let's examine some final key points from this nightmare. Okay, guys? KSHV.com reported that a former employee of Michael Jones stated that he witnessed Adrian being abused. Why did he say anything? Adrian's grandmother contacted DCF twice prior to his murder. Former Deputy Director of DCF, Diane informed KSHB.com that she is appalled by the lack of transparency from the agency. She quit the department due to the issues similar to this case. Diane stated that the DCF often kept secrets. These types of secrets, often kept secrets of these type of child death cases from the public, she remarked. So she quit because she knew that the DCF department was nothing but bullshit, that they kept so many secrets and they lied about so much, and they did not want to take responsibility for the fact that they were the cause of probably not just Adrian's death, probably not just Gabriel's death, but plenty of other children's death when they could have been prevented. Quote, this is from Diane, quote, "It's inconsolable when there's a child's death and that child has had a history with DCF. That information needs to go to the family and the public, and that the agency needs to be held accountable." Diane, right on, my girl, right on. Diane also commented about a DCF attorney. Quote, "She, the attorney, didn't feel like we should document anything related to a child's death. She wanted to only have verbal conversation over the phone. If we took handwritten notes, we were instructed to shred them afterwards." So they was basically telling them to shred any evidence, handwritten evidence, that this child was being abused, that how many times they have been caught out there, how severe the abuse was. All this was told to be shred, and that they could have nothing but verbal conversation, which literally goes down to he say, she say, bullshit. I personally view the numerous deaths in Kansas where we missed it. Adrian's parents had an elaborate camera system set up around the home. In fact, KSHB found that the timestamps on the surveillance footage show Adrian was abused over the course of 9 months. They recorded the torture and killing of this poor baby, of this poor 7-year-old. They recorded every bit of this, guys, every bit of it. Additionally, another adult male was living in the home at the time, Willie Flowers, who can be seen on the camera in the home, knew what was going on. This person did absolutely nothing, not nothing, to help this baby. Nothing. John, who is a criminal defense attorney, said it's not a crime to live in a home while a child has been abused or even tortured and killed. That's some bullshit. If I'm living in a house with somebody and I see their father and their mother literally beating them to the point where they are unconscious, if I see them lay a finger on them to the point where they are bleeding or anything, I'm reporting it. I don't care if they get mad. I don't care if they're my family. I don't care what they are. They will get reported to me. No. Let me back that up. They would get their ass beat by me. Yeah, they would.
You've been in preschool, young man.
Point blank. I would probably beat them parents so severely that, I don't know, I'll probably be behind bars. You know, for the simple fact that I see them doing that to their child. That's how I would be if I am living in a household. I don't care if it is their household. I don't care if it is their child. If I see them beating that child to an unconsciousness or trying to murder that child, I will literally murder them. Point blank. Point blank. Let's read about this damn chick, Heather. Heather asked her landlord to log into her iCloud account to save pictures of her kids. Her kids, guys. Her kids. When she logged in, she found pictures of Adrian being tortured and abused. She turned them over to the police. Heather Jones also shared these pictures to groups of people over Facebook. She discussed and shared stories of torturing young Adrian. So this bitch, guys, this bitch had enough audacity to have her landlord, while she's in prison, log into her iCloud account to get pictures of her kids who she don't deserve, who she don't got. And luckily, the landlord did the right thing, came across these pictures of this poor 7-year-old child being tortured, and no telling what else he said on the computer, and turned it over to police. Applaud to him. Or her, whichever one it is. Applaud to them. They did the right thing. Somebody in this case did the right thing. But it was a little too late. But still, did the right thing.
Hi.
Whoa. Sorry.
And it's still yet no one did anything, okay? The Kansas City Star reported that a Missouri child advocate and a CEO of Foster Adopted Connect, Lori Ross, stated that Adrian should have been removed from the home by the Missouri authorities after he reported abuse in 2013. I agree. Another person in that is right about that in this case. Ross, applaud to her too. Quote, I don't understand why, after what he initially said, there wasn't an immediate request to pick him up. He was very detailed, saying in his then 5-year-old voice he was being dramatically abused. This child was only 5 and was detailing in such great detail of the abuse he was enduring.
What's your problem?
And I'm like, Ross, why was he not removed then? Why? Immediately removed. So, what was the response from the child welfare system? In Kansas, a new task force was launched after Jones was sentenced to life in prison for killing Adrian. It's too bad. It takes a horrific death of a 7-year-old child to finally get people to do something. Yet, guess who we are hoping will fix this horrible system? You got it. The same people who allow this to happen. The same people that allow this to happen, guys. If I performed as poorly in my job as the child welfare system has,
Live happily ever after.
I would hope that I would be fired. You know, I would probably fire my damn self. Everyone involved in Adrian's case should quit, should have been fired, should have been treated the same way. I don't give a shit.
Especially mom.
I hope somebody finds them and beats the shit out of them. Obviously, it's just not right. Lastly, my hope is that everyone who reads this will share the story and never allow another child.
Winston Churchill.
Yeah, but what if the person testing you has such bad body odor you can't even concentrate?
Red light.
To never allow another child.
Good topic.
Which I know this is just wishful thinking on my part. Wishful praying. You know, I'm praying about it. To allow another child to be abused and fed to pigs.
You look great. You have a lot of
To be
confidence.
so tortured to death and so left alone in a shower stall to die and left there for 2 weeks
Yeah, Ginger.
before
Suzette,
they went out.
you knew my wife before.
They brought pigs
Actually, before all of us did. Has she changed?
and they fed him to
these years?
Are she the same person?
What do the two of you have in common?
Let's not let
What do we have in common, then?
the welfare system
We
forget
the occasional concert.
what they allowed to happen to this child. What they allowed to happen to Gabriel Fernandez. Let's not let them ever forget. Let's keep these babies' name alive. Let's keep them welfare people tortured to death. Let's torture the parents that done this to them babies.
Standing there holding her purse.
Oh, I heard about Pearl Fernandez getting her ass jumped.
Come on, everyone, let's go. It's gonna be late.
Rightfully so, she need to get killed. And you know, let's just keep these precious angels' name alive. And let's just torture the hell out of the welfare system that failed them. Okay, guys? Let's do that. Anyways, guys, I know I got very emotional, very hostile, and very, very upset. But who wouldn't when it comes to a case like that? That could have been prevented, but wasn't. Anyways, guys, remember, love is love. Always be kind, stay beautiful, and always, always put God first. And I am out of here, guys. I love y'all. Y'all protect the babies too. Don't y'all ever let nobody hurt them. You see somebody hurting that child or something,
I have no idea.
call the police. If you have to, you interfere. You interfere and you beat the hell out of that person hurting that child. Point blank. Anyways, guys, I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed night, okay? I'm out.